The time has come for lions to tell I and I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I and I is Ras hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, aya. Look how we work together, aya. Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Hail I, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empressment and bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rastafari, hail you.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Okay, so living in the UK and being born in England, there's a who am I and where do I belong? Can my parents come from Jamaica, but I born in England. You over. They speak Jamaican language or patois, but in the home they're telling you to speak proper. Yeah, speak proper English. Yeah. So they're giving I and I that notion that what I and I is speaking, right, is not good enough. Well, as I know, it's an inborn thing. You know what I mean? So many are called and few are chosen. You know what I mean? So that vibration was within a one. So when I and I check out the biblical references, you know what I mean? And I say, well, yo, it fits. You know what I mean? And when you check out the Psalms and you say, these are the generation that seek him, that seek thy face. You over. So then I realize, say, well, you have a face and just sit upon a throne. You over. And that throne is a rainbow circle throne. You over. And him have certain title, King of Kings. You over. Lord of Lords. You over. Conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. And they're there in the book. You over. And it said, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon I and I, that I and I shall be called the sons of Jah, or sons of God. You over. And I will not know what will be, but when he appear, we shall know him. You over. So, twy man, that's it. You over. Him appear, there he is. You over. When I go search, no more, no further. Yeah, when I say our generation, it's like in every family, you over, it's Ras. You have Rastafari. You know what I mean? It's like my parents them. It's like what's happening because we youth them turn Rastafari. All them become it's like a phenomenon. All these ones become Rastafari. We Rastafari. You over in a Jamaica, in a coronation market. You over those, you know, dirty Rasta, unkempt and so on and so forth. And now I and I children have become Rastafari. You over. Right? So in those times you had plenty Rasta. You over. Rastafari is not going to blow up places. Yeah? But how did Rastafari spread from the ghettos of Kingston to the ghettos of Answorth, Birmingham, Brixton, London, Chapeltown, Leeds? How? And they realized that it changed. It spread to the music. You over. So what happened now is that them change the music, the message. So that's how you did get dancehall music. So what happened is that when ones came here they went to the white man and asked the white man, yeah, do you sell yam, green banana, pumpkin, dasheen, these things? And he said, no, mate, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Boom. They went to the Asian man. Now the Asian man is catering to his community. You over, because he woke up the same thing. These people do not eat the same as we, don't worship the same as we. So we have to build our own things. Yeah? So they didn't go to the Englishman and ask him. Because they already know. So they then source out where they can get their things to supply their own community. And that's what they did. So they set up their shops for their community. I people went to the Asian man in his shop and said, can you get yam, green banana, pumpkin? Yeah? And after a while, so many ones went to them that they said they went to Babaji, right? They say, yo, these people keep asking for green banana, yam, pumpkin. And they say that if we put it in our shops, they will come and buy it. And so after when he pick up himself off of the ground, because he can't believe a set of people function like that. That was why I said, he can't believe this, all right, put it in the shop and let us see. And lo and behold, that's what happened. We go and buy from them. So that means to say, they've already got their own gold mine, you know. Because our culture is our gold mine, you know.
Yes.
So they've got their gold mine, they're catering for themselves, their community. So that money goes around within their community. The European is already catering for himself, I have in country. So he's catering for his community. I people come now and gave away I gold mine to our next community. So what happened now in the 1980s with the coming of the gangster business, what you have is another alternative called road or street. Gangsterism. You get me? Also herb, coke, whatever it is, also. And you can make money. Why go to school and go to university when in a day you can make £5,000, etc. You get in a day. So these were the things that, so the youth gravitated to road. And road comes with consequences.
Wow.
You either get killed, go to jail, or the very, very few survive it long enough to be able to sustain themselves. So many of the youth, they are jailhouse. Prison ministry, how that come about is that I was working on a project called Ras Tafari in the West Midlands. I brethren up the world was working on this project, which was research into the Rastafari in the West Midlands. West Midlands is that area within a region within England. Right? So you have different regions, just like how America have different states, and then within the states you have different regions, same in England. So it's Rastafari in the West Midlands, because in the 1970s when I went to London, a brother called Cecil Gutsmore, I think he's Professor Cecil Gutsmore now. Anyway, he stated to I who had gone there that Birmingham is the Rastafari capital of Europe. Right? And we say, He say, yeah man. He say, not London. He say, no man, not London man. You'll have different pockets in different pockets, but he say, when he come to Birmingham, he say the whole the whole city, the youth them are Rasta. You over, so what I did then was look at that, research that. So I researched Burning Strong. It was very interesting because no one has never want to participate in the reasoning. You over to get the history. Wolverhampton, the same. We go to Wolverhampton and we get a better response there. Anyway, out of that, within doing that, we were approached by the Ministry of Justice because in 2012, the Ministry of Justice recognized different faiths so that prisoners could then now carry out them worship, what them call corporate worship, according to their faith, and not just the Christian and Islam. So they recognize Rastafari, so they needed once to know, come up with a package for the prison. So that's what I did. We write the guidelines, PSI, Prison Service Instructions, I think it is, on Rastafari. Then I source different drums, we set up a kit. So every prison have to have these kits. 3 drums, and if they have a bigger contingent of prisoners, then 5 drums. We do a CD of chants, we did a booklet of chants, Ethiopian cross, what else? We commissioned Ras Maqopi to do a CD of up-to-date lyrics and music. We do that. I did edit a book called The Pearls of Wise Mind of Haile Selassie First, and I did write a book called Ancient Future, which was centered around Rastafari in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Ethiopian Orthodox Tuado Church, and that was a kit. So that went into the prisons. So I did do that work, and I just went straight to Shashamane. You over, jump a bus and reach Shashamane. When I reach Shashamane and get off the coach, or the bus rather, get down the luggage, and I outside brother Moody Yard. I man said, "Ja, Rastafari." And 2 sheets of lightning strike, and one comes up, poof, another one comes, poof, just like that.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as their enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. Elected himself, spiritual ruler. Hey yo! aye. Hail them high, hail the Black King on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe.
Who?
Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come if you tell them in a Toronto, straight at Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chazbach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist. And right now, I am the host of the Lion Talk. Welcome to Lion Talk, and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Today, we have a very special guest, one of our elders who have trod on the battlefield for many Iowa. I've been looking forward to this reasoning, and we are headed forward to the UK, United Kingdom. First really started to hear from this elder or ancient during the COVID Iowa, and at that time the elder just trotted to Tanzania, and as a part of the anniversary development of Rastafari study group, we could always depend on an update on the ground in Tanzania from the elder. I've learned since then that one of the key pillars within the UK Rastafari community, and as the item know, we have had several ones from that community, and we'll continue to highlight our different communities, looking forward to when we can trod in person to these places and be able to cover some of the work. Again, we have to tell our own story. No one is going to come and tell it for us. But before I bring forward the ancient, let me just big up the Lion Pride. Big up the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you are part of the Lion Pride. We are accelerating our pace of growth. We never stop when we hit 20,000. It's like we start press gas. So I want to just big up the item. The comments are coming in more and more. This is becoming a vibrant space on the World Wide Web for the global Rastafari and Pan-African family. And what I love is that the majority, overwhelming majority of the comments are positive. And let us keep that positive vibration is one of the things I love about the great Honorable Nesta Marley, who said Rastafari vibration positive, you know what I mean? So give thanks to the global family. We are rising within the Lion Pride on Patreon as well, which is our economic engine. And give thanks, you know what I mean? We lost some of our Patreon family and we gained some. So we're in the midst of our 100 strong campaign.
So join us. I am offering consultation as part of the benefit for those who come in over $10 a month level. Very invaluable. We've had some consultations with Brethren already, and the Brethren platforms are growing. As I said on our 20,000 live, I don't want to rise by myself. I need some company. So join in, and I will be happy. For 100 of I can't do it for everyone. The time won't allow. I can strengthen the I work. If you're a content creator, this is an excellent opportunity to have someone with experience really help to guide and shape your creative ecosystem. If you're an artist, whatever you're doing in the space. If I was the I, and as a young Ras, who in the creative space, I would take that up very easily. So, big up all of the Lion Pride on Patreon. I want big up also the Action Lion Pride, the Ubuntu Lion Pride. If you give a contribution over 70 US, you become part of the Ubuntu Lion Pride. This is for our small businesses, our families. It's an excellent way. You just want to slap up the beast one time on him face, jawbone. You become part of the Ubuntu Lion Pride and the history of the uprising of this platform. I'm just a vessel, Remember that. I'm just a vessel doing the work of the Most High. The Action Lion Pride, because if you don't have $1, what you gonna do? You like, you comment, and you share. Big up the Action Lion Pride. That's our biggest portion of this movement, and this is why the platform is growing so rapidly, because ones are liking, they're commenting, they're sharing. Do something. Action time. I'm a Gideon. And before I go any further, let me just put out my prayers to the ones in LA and LA family over there. We praying for the item Gideon time, So who have eyes, let them see. Who have ears, let them hear. We're using all of these world events as rallying points to come together in that perfect love and unity. So big up LA family, and all of the watch and peep Lion Pride too. All of the watchers, all of the people. I don't want to get into it so deep, but every one of the item, please just know, say we love the item, and it's been so satisfying going through this process of building this platform and knowing that as Rastafari, Pan-African family, we have a platform that's unapologetically Rastafari, bringing this worldview to the forefront, and we deserve a world-class platform. So remember, what you see now is just the beginning. We're going to be upgrading our camera. Our, a whole heap of things going to be taking place this year. So stay tuned. Don't feel like said what you see today or what you're going to see tomorrow, All right. I'm not going to get too deep. So big up Romeo King Design, Ras Lidge. You don't know. Big up yourself when you see me a sip. This is a Rastafari business, one of our sponsors. Big up Wally Kings, Ras Wolde, Seamas Life. I tell people the greatest Seamas beverage on the planet, one of our sponsors. And again, everyone, this is a village rising. Don't feel like said it's just I couldn't do it by myself. It's a village rising. And I want to big up everyone in the village, in the ecosystem, in creation. If this is your first time, welcome home, family. We're there and we're moving. So, housekeeping out of the way. Let us prepare to greet our guests. I want the Lion Pride to give a warm welcome to our Ancient of Days, Elder Ras Maqopi. Welcome.
Rastafari. Greetings, Divine name of His Imperial Majesty Selassie the First. Divine balance, Empress Menin, I, Rastafari.
Give thanks, give thanks. I've been looking forward to this sip because I know today I have some serious ice story for share with I and to educate I. This is one of them ones, family. So get your ital snacks. You know what I mean? Get your preparation because we're going deep in this episode. So ancient days, I'm gonna ask the as customary for our esteemed guests to step into our heretical time machine here on the Lion Voice and take us to the moment of the I birth and to please share the I origin story.
Yes, I Rastafari. Well, I'm an origin story. Come forward in the 1950s. So what happened is that I parents them in Jamaica, and at that time in Jamaica, work was hard to find, and so the so-called mother country, which is England, had gone through the so-called Second World War and called upon its loyal subjects in the Caribbean to come forward and help build up England. So my father, he came in 1955, and then my mother followed like 9 months later. So I understand that around about December 1955, and then I'm born 1956. So in Jamaica, my parents did have 7 youths over there, and then forward to England and I 3 more youths. So altogether it's 10 of I and I over in the family, the senior family.
Okay.
So that's the origin over the I did it.
What parish did I forward from?
Them come from St. Ann, Gibraltar.
Okay. So there I was born in the UK.
Yeah, man, I born in England, so I'm the first one born in England. So I'm like the archetype.
So the I would be considered part of that Windrush.
Yeah, man, I am a Windrush picnic, put it that way there. So the Windrush generation are the ones who came over before 1971 when Britain changed up the laws. Yeah, so they changed up the immigration law 1971. So ones who came before that are being kind of Windrush generation.
Yeah, okay.
But the Windrush did come in 1948. The original ship called SS Windrush came in 1948.
So what was it like growing up for the I? Retaining that Jamaican heritage. This is fresh, where all of these immigrants are coming in, and have to go into the school system. You know what I mean? What was that experience like in that time? And paint a picture, particularly for our younger audience in terms of what it was like going to school in those early days.
Okay. So, for example, I grew up in a Jamaican family. So it's like a Jamaican family and community get transplanted from out of Gibraltar, St. Ann, placed in a area called Smallheath in Birmingham. Right, so my cousins, uncles live down the road. Next set of cousins living on the next road. So it's like a community over that developed there. And then going to school now, we met my cousins were there. You had ones from different countries whose parents had come from, like Barbados, St. Kitts, Trinidad. Then you had Asians from Pakistan, India. So it's like that. It's like a melting pot. Then you have the Europeans, Welsh, Scottish, Irish. So we grew up in that kind of melting pot. You know what I mean? So going,
It's very similar to my uprising in Toronto. You know, the UK is very similar in terms of those communities that you name. You know,
yes, sir.
in Toronto. So, what made the eye gravitate now to Rastafari? Because one thing being part of the diaspora community, but what now made the eye, and what age did the eye start to gravitate to Rastafari?
Okay, so all right, so rewind. So going to school now, right, was a wake up, right? Because our parents prepared I, right, to go to school,
Yes.
right? And in that preparation, this was their preparation. You're going to school to learn, right? If anybody thump you, thump them back. If anybody kick you, you kick them back. Yeah? So that basically you have to stand up for yourself.
Yes.
So that was the way that I and I went to school. We grew up in an environment where racism was overt, blatant. So that, for example, if I and I went out to the shops, right, the white youths would be calling us nigger, wag, coon, these kind of words you can't say from the you get me. But those are the words they used to call I and I, monkey, you know what I mean, go back to your own country, that kind of thing. So it was a blatant. So we grew up in a time where the racism was overt and blatant. And they wouldn't stand up to come and fight you. You understand? So you have to stand up for yourself.
So you got into a lot of fights growing up.
Yeah, man, what do you mean, man? Yeah, so you just had to, because they might call it wag, nigger, coon, you know what I mean? Blackie, monkey, you know. So yeah. You come up fighting.
So you had to defend it. So where was the first awareness of Rastafari in this environment?
Okay, so living in the UK and being born in England, there's a who am I and where do I belong? Because my parents come from Jamaica, but I born in England. They speak Jamaican language or patois, but in the home they're telling you to speak proper. Yeah, speak proper English. Yeah. So they're giving I and I that notion that what I and I is speaking, right, is not good enough. So it's like that. So them call we English, but in England, to be English, right, it's like an exclusive club, right? You have to be white to be English. Yeah. So when them call we English now, we couldn't really hold on to that English thing because that's white people them. So it's a search for identity. You know what I mean? So in that search for identity, I did see also at that time, when I watched the news, you would see, like over in America, you would see the fight for civil rights by the Africans in America. And what you would see is one sitting in a city, and then the police come in and I beat them and I hose pipe them. So we see that in America, that fight for civil rights. So we know about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Malcolm X, they come at England, come at Birmingham in the 1964, 65, can't remember when. Just before him get assassinated, actually, right? Okay. So less than a month after him come at England, he was assassinated.
So as a youth, I have these memories.
Yeah, man. Those are the memories we brought up with, and then also with some news in Africa, with the fight for liberation, different countries. Yeah, for their liberation, because Jamaica get them independent, so-called, in 1962. So I and I was aware that What do you mean independent? Independent. Beside Africans and fighting for independence. You over. So it's really, you have to look and say, well, in the scheme of things, who am I? So it's that kind of what education you get, kind of street side education or school in the school playground education. Yeah. So we did already see there was a hierarchy, and in that hierarchy, Anna is at the bottom of the hierarchy. You over. And the elders them also at the hierarchy. So we just realized, for example, the churches, those who when once came over here and went to the white church, right? They then realized that the way that them worship I give thanks and prayers in the Caribbean is markedly different from how them give prayers in England. When they went to the white church, it's like kind of sit down, formal, you know what I mean? Stand up now, sing, sit down now, sing. There's no vibration. You over. So many ones went and set up their own church because they were not accepted in church.
The
You
wider
over. So they
church.
set up their own. Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
was most of your information coming from BBC at this time?
Yeah, man. Yes. Because, BBC, and then you had mainly two channels at that time. One was BBC, another one was ITV, Independent Television Network.
Okay. And then, so was it the culture of Rastafari that you encountered first, or His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie the first on the news and thing? Which one did I become aware of first?
So, can remember seeing Haile Selassie I go Jamaica. You over. So I remember seeing that on the news, and then in the music, you over. There was music cut on our brothers, family, our brothers, them used to buy music, uncle them buy music, you know what I mean? So you'd have a song, what's the name? I don't really kids. A tune called King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? And that used to thump on the radio from. You know what I mean? So we always heard of this. We were parents and talking about Haile Selassie first. You know what I mean? Haile Selassie. You know what I mean? So it always have that name there ringing in the background or foreground, as them say. So we know about Haile Selassie. And then now I used to go to the library. When I go to the library, I get a book from Jamaica. When I get a book from Jamaica, I looking at it, and there's a photograph of a Rasta man in the book. You know what I mean? So then now I ask my sisters them who come from Jamaica, who is this? What is, you know what I mean? What is this Rasta? You know what I mean? So that was really my first sighting of Rastafari was in a book.
Okay. And then now, what was that spark? What was that moment that ignited, the eye on the path to, what I mean, that separation, growing your locks, start to accept the divinity of His Imperial Majesty?
See, so as I man says, that's searching. So, and I would read Martin Luther King, Strength to Love was the name of the book. I'm parents, and I man read that. Read the autobiography of Malcolm X, different books. Over. Really to deal with like black power, black consciousness. You know what I mean? So in the 68 Olympics, remember the black power protests. You know what I mean? So coming forward, you had the Angela Davis, when them lock up Angela Davis and the Afro free Angela Davis. So it's always that black consciousness. So I'm on the kind of gravitate towards that kind of reasoning. And so, like 1973, them time there, music again is a crucial thing. So we did get, I think it's Burning by the Whalers.
Okay.
And so on that, on Burning, on that
What
album,
year? What year? Give us the year. Give us
we
the
are talking
year.
1973, them time there.
Okay. All right.
So them time I was about 16-year-old. You over. So just about I finished school and I get work. So and I used to go and buy music and get music. And eventually I built a sound system. But on that album, you have a chant called Rastaman Chant. Over, which was completely different to the reggae. That is the night I'm being it was on, that track there, Rastaman Chant, and I used to hear that chant there. Over, right? So it's them kind of thing. So yeah, and then there were ones in our community dealing with Rasta, so they were elders slightly older than I and I. Not much, not elders like 50s, 60s, and 40s. Them just kind of like in them 20s.
Okay.
And I teenage them time there. You know what I mean? So it's from them time. So it's a seeking and with reason. You know what I mean? And once we show the biblical references pertaining to his imperial majesty and how he fulfill all those things, and the iron are the ones who are being taken down into bondage, Babylon, scattered throughout the earth, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so that's when I say yeah.
So that was 1973 is when you really made that step into Rastafari.
No, I 1977.
Okay,
Yeah.
with 2-7 clash.
Yeah, when the 2-7 clash and the 4-7 clash, you over them time there. You know what I mean? So yeah, 73 I'm on still at school.
Okay.
74 I'm on exam. 75 I'm on leave school, get work, and then out of work, and then that's when I had time now. When I was so-called unemployed. You know what I mean? The reason, link up and reason with ones and so forth, yeah. So in 77 now, yeah, when the 4-7 clash, I can remember going to the local park, Smiley Park at that time, and ones were rolling on the ground, praying God for forgiveness and so on and so forth, because they think the world was going to end and then thing there. Yeah, so I tell him, say, no, you mean, man, you over. No.
That's the year our man was born, So,
okay.
Yeah, October 77. So, give thanks. That is when the eye forward up, and the music. There's a channel on YouTube. I can't remember their name, where they play reggae from the summer. They give you the songs that were top at that time, and the music was crucial.
Yes, man.
The Rastafari roots music.
Yes.
77. If you ever get a playlist, Lion Pride family, I tell you, them just put on a 1977 music playlist. So I can imagine the current. And a lot of people don't understand the diaspora or the live-aspora experience, because you see the ancient, you would think him grew up in a, jungle or Tivoli or, or St. Mary, but it's all the UK being shaped by these communities. But because you're in a, amongst all of these other cultures, it's almost like you become hyper, whatever the culture that you're from, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to preserve that uniqueness about yourself, you know what I mean? So you play more reggae than the family them in Jamaica, because that's your music, you'd eat more Jamaican food, everything you just, submerge. This is the diaspora experience across, you have places like the New York, like the UK, like Toronto, like South Florida, you know what I mean, where
Yes,
you
sir.
have these long-standing pockets of Jamaican culture. And
Yes,
the
sir.
I is a product of that. Put on your covenant in 1977 now. What were you doing professionally at that time? You say you went to school. How were you earning and maintaining the self?
Great question. So yeah, so I'm gonna go to school. I went to George Dixon Grammar School, so it's a grammar school. I'm on go. Um, in the UK, at that time they had a tripartite educational system, right? So at the age of 11, they'll give you the 11 plus, and that 11 plus examination determine what kind of school you will go to as secondary. Yeah. So because England was basically a class-based society, right, with the working class, middle class, and upper class, then the educational system patterned that. Yeah. So when you take the 11 plus now, if you fail, you go to a secondary modern school. Basically, these were the ones who would be like the mechanics and work in a factory and those kind of things. Yeah, those kind of work. Then you had like if you pass and you went to a grammar school, these are the ones who would be like the lawyers, doctors, etc., managers. And then you had private education, right? Where once paid for them youth to get educated, and these were the ones who would now service the upper class, get the upper
Yeah,
class work,
yeah.
etc. Yeah, so I'm on go to grammar school. So in I'm on class, I was the only black youth in the class. There was four of I and I in the whole year over. So it was that kind of environment man go up in. And then when I'm on check our examination, first work I'm on do was in the civil service. You over working for Her Majesty's government, you
Hmm.
know. Yeah, so I used to work in a job center. So once you used to, you're unemployed, then you go there and you sign on, get the money, look for work, etc., etc. So that was the first work I man do. And then after a while, I man left that work there, and then I was unemployed, and that's when man become Rasta. And then after that, I went to college and do A level, and then after that, I was unemployed still, doing just basically scuffling, hustling, and then I man go to Bradford College and do a diploma of higher education, and then did a BA honors in organization study. Then when I man leave Bradford and forward to Burning Strong at Birmingham, as it's called, I man joined the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. And so I work within the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated on a
Okay,
voluntary basis, etc.
okay. So what was the year that the I joined EWF?
1981.
Okay, so
So yeah. So what had happened in the UK, you had different Rastafari groups. Yeah, and unlike America, right? What I nice like with America is that many of the elders are elders them from Jamaica went to America, you over. So they then got the elders there and got that grounding. You
yeah,
over. I might have a few elders, you over. So you have different Rastafari organizations uh, manifesting them works. And in 1981 in July at Bixton Town Hall, they held like a meeting to get a umbrella, set up an umbrella organization for all these different um, Rastafari organization. And it was at that meeting that one decided to use the constitution of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated because certain ones were in the EWF, like from Jamaica. So from the 1950s, the first mention of Rastafari academically, right, is in a book called Dark Strangers by a white sociologist called Sheila Patterson, right, where she saw some Rastafari chatting through Brixton Market, yeah. So that's the first mention. So these Rassis, they had come from Jamaica, from the EWF local, and were residing in London. Over. So what happened was in the 1970s, 1974, around about that time, in London, there was a local called Local 33.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was, I think that was the first local established in the EWF local set up in the UK.
Okay.
It's called Emperor Johannes Local 33. And so you had ones like Mama Liberty that I interview.
Yes.
One called Jablo,
Mama take Georges, because I think I have take Georges on the episode, the Orthodox part. So check out that interview, very crucial interview, but continue, sorry.
Yeah, man. Well, I think Georges. So so we're talking the 1970s. So 1974 now, you had a local in London, and then you had units in Leicester and in Birmingham.
Okay.
So that's when I first heard about the EWF, right? And it was the EWF in London that brought over the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So they brought that over in the UK, right? So there was a controversy at the time when ones were saying that, yeah, come at church. And, we say, why we born church and all, but it's Selassie church. But, yeah, that you have to trim. So we say, no, man, we're not going to church. We trim. You know what I mean? No, we don't see that. You get me? So that's why, there was that kind of issue at that time. Not going to church. We trim. Baptize and something. And who's them say, you get me? Yeah, so that was the 70s. So what happened now is that in 1981, it come to that conclusion to use the Constitution of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. So out of that, 5 locals were established. One of them was established in Burning Strong, and 4 of them in London. And over the years, is one that actually stand up in London, which is now Local 3, EWF Local 3. So I in Burning Strong with EWF Local 111. So that was November. So the conference, as them call it, was in July 23, 1981. And I Local was established in November 1981. So I had just graduated on forward to Burning Strong, and then in November, man joined the EWF.
So let's take a step forward. What was it about His Imperial Majesty that made the eye recognize that divinity? Because yes, you're seeing Rasta brethren, you're listening to music, you come up with it in your house, but there's a huge step that has to be taken in terms of the heretical portion. So how did that reasoning come about in your irids, that acceptance of the divinity?
See, well, as I know, it's an inborn thing. You know what I mean? So many are called and few are chosen. You know what I mean? So that vibration was within a one. So when I check out the biblical, the biblical references, you know what I mean? And I say, well, yo, it fits. You know what I mean? And when you check out the Psalms and it said, these are the generation that seek him, that seek thy face.
Mm.
You over. So then I realize, say, well, you have a face and just sit upon a throne.
Mm.
You over. And that throne is a rainbow circle throne. You over. And him have certain title, King of Kings. You over. Lord of Lords. You over. Conquering line of the tribe of Judah. And they're there in the book. You over. And it said, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon I and I, that I and I shall be called the sons of Jah, or sons of God. You over. And I will not know what will be, but when he appear, we shall know him. You over. So, twy man, that's it. You over. Him appear, there he is. You over. We not go search no more, no further. You over. Because I go up in the Baptist church. And in the Baptist church, I tell I say Christ is coming. You over. Right? In 2000 he will come, 2000 years is coming. You
Yes.
over. Right? And I know, according to them, he don't reach yet. You over.
Uh,
So,
like a
so that
thief
is
in
all.
the night, though. You know, it's like a
Come
thief in the
again?
night. Them a look for 2000, 1892. You know what I mean? Lich Tafari just born like a thief in the night and just deal with what him have to deal with, and they're still waiting. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask is in terms of the UK,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much history, you know, as it relates to Haile Selassie the first in the UK. Of
Yes,
course,
sir.
the site of the exile. This is the site of, you know, state visits with Queen Elizabeth, and you know, what I mean, this is prior to World War II, the mightiest power on the planet. Um, you know, how did the I see, you know, that the UK, were you relating the UK or England and His Majesty? Were you, for example, did you travel to Fairfield House? Did you know, do any research in the libraries and find out information about the Majesty in London or in the UK that, you know, as a young Ras spark your passion? Were any did the UK play any role in terms of how you were relating, or were you just looking at His Majesty on a global scale?
Yeah, man. Excellent question. It's really upon a global scale, so we never really penetrate that he was in Bath. That they come later. That come when no they try to go sell off that house.
Okay,
You over. Right? Because His Imperial Majesty in 1954. You over did come forward and he got the free man of the city of Bath.
okay,
Right? But he had lived in Fairfield House from the 1930s until he forward over to Ethiopia, well, to Sudan and then Ethiopia, and we enter. So, and I knew that he was here, but we never really know, say, in a bath, and the house is there, and so on and so forth. So, it's really ones like Ras Bandeli, who has now passed, Ras Tafari, and Wallet Medan, who has also passed. These were the ones who kind of alert the Rastafari community, you over, that the council was going to sell out the house. His Imperial Majesty had left the house for the elderly in Bath so that they could use it. And that's how it was being used, but the council was going to shut it down. You know what I mean? And sell it out. Someone stated, no, this is Imperial Majesty house, and is, how can I put it? It's like a world Rastafari heritage, cultural heritage
Yeah, man.
site. You know what I mean? So I rally and make sure say it never get locked down. And that happened a number of times. That happened again in the 2010s, around them time there, over. And I bridging Ras World was also transcended. And I would go there and defend the house and speak to the councillors and meet with them so that it don't get locked down. So right about now, it's still open on every first Saturday. Once keep a sabbatical ibadah or ceremony there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
is later on I research all these places that is Imperial Majesty. When there's a place in up by Manchester called Dunham Massey, where His Imperial Majesty visited, and every July 23 they raise the Ethiopian flag over in honor of His Imperial Majesty and his fight to forward back onto his throne, to forward on his throne.
Wow.
So
Serious. When was the first time that I read the autobiography?
good question, because you see, like what I was stating, we find that in those times books were very hard to get.
Okay.
Books was very hard to get. It's not like now you can just tap. You know what I mean? And go on Amazon and book. The next day or 2 days later, the book reach a yard. Books were like gold.
Yes.
Even more precious than fine gold. You know what I mean? So when you finally get your hand on it, can't you remember? I can't remember if it was in the 80s and 90s, them time there. You know what I mean? But those things were really precious. So what did happen is you had coming up, you had ones like Rastafari Universal Zion, which was one of the groups that I was talking about. And with Rastafari Universal Zion, they had an organ called the Voice of Rasta. Right? So our elder called Jabones, these men were they put out that out on a monthly basis. And that would contain reasonings, extracts from different books like Autobiography of His Imperial Majesty, utterances, and poetry. So unlike Benjamin Zephaniah, them would want to write and get them poems published. So it was like that. And then now out of Trinidad, you had Rastafari Speaks, you over Seiko Tafari, and Kamani Langa, and those ones, Shango Bako. You know what I mean? So that's how I really got edification, is through those publications. Ja Uglyman or Ja Og was another one.
Yes.
So that's what it was. So it's not like no, those books are accessible, readily accessible. We just read about them. You know what I mean? The Holy Phoebe and those kind of books. We only read about them, but never actually get them.
So two of those 3 publishing houses that you named come out to the UK. So the UK played a major role in terms of publication of the Liberty, because Jahog, and then the one you're talking about, Universal Zion.
Rasta, Voice of Rasta.
Voice of Rasta. Yeah. So these are 2 publications that are coming out to the UK. So these are things that have to be researched. I had Mama Scully give thanks. So if you haven't seen that episode, I would.
Beside it, man. Beside them. Yeah.
Yes. I'm saying to the Lion Pride or ones watching this to go and to watch this, because when I do these reasonings, it's because I want to paint a picture. I don't want have to wait to some third party come and tell our story. You know what I mean? So if you want to know the rising of Rastafari in the UK, you can come to the Lion Voice Network. You can hear the brethren um, blah. You can hear from Mama Scully, Mama Walata, Georgis, and we have many more Ras Negosai that we just did. And we have Ras Benji coming up too from Fairfield House.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're going to be doing a whole series on Rastafari in the UK. It's one of those um, places that I think we need more attention, because the idea must spend British pound, So from an economic perspective, leveraging that community, we're supposed to can do some great work on the continent, and what you find out when you start traveling is that the brethren and sisters in the UK travel to the continent probably the most out of any live diaspora immunity. When you were coming up as a young Ras in the 80s, were once spreading to Africa them time there, or was it still more a local uprising?
You see, like, one can really, when you look forward now into like Burning Strong here now, London, Wolverhampton, Coventry, all these different towns. It was like a whole generation of Rastafari. You over. Yeah, when I say a whole generation, it's like in every family. You over, it's Ras. You have Rastafari. You know what I mean? It's like my parents them. It's like what's happening, because we youth them turn Rastafari. All them become, it's like a phenomenon. All these ones become Rastafari. We Rastafari. You over in a Jamaica, in a coronation market. You over those, dirty Rasta, unkempt and so on and so forth. And now, I children and become Rastafari. You over, right? So in those times, you had plenty Rasta. You over, enough Rasta. You know what I mean? So it was like that. And in the 70s, it was like the 12th tribe of Israel. You over. That was the biggest house, mansion, etc. You over. It was the 12th tribe. You know what I mean? And when you go to a 12th tribe dance in those days, it's like hundreds. You know what I mean? Coach load. You know what I mean? 10 coach load, that one's a forward. You over. I mean, when you go and I saw you there, I saw you there and I dance like this. You over, and everyone dress up in them colors pertaining to the month. You know what I mean? It's like that. You get me? So yeah, man, it's like phenomenon them time there. You know what I mean? It's really a phenomenon. The 80s, I transform all the school system. You over, where them have to change up all the food, all the diet, the live it, you know what I mean? They have to bring I into the school to explain about Rastafari and reason about Rastafari. You over, because they never know. But you imagine you have a school, you over, and 80% of the youth them is Rasta. You over, so it's like that in England in them time there. You over, so yeah, I was well advanced in that time there, and from the front line as I see pertaining to Rastafari.
Why do you think it was so strong in the 80s, and did that continue into the 90s too?
It continued into the 90s, kind of did a wane after a while. You had different organizations come up, you over. EWF and I, for example, when I start the EWF, we have about 200 members,
Wow.
you over. And the youngest was like 13 years of age, you over. I man was about 24 them time there, and then we had an elder, Mr. Hogarth, who he passed now, he was up in age. He was an elder about 50, 60s, you over. But he ran trads to like youth exchange to Africa. So there were ones who went to Africa about 1980, talking 82, 83, them time there. Over. So within the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, I local, over. One of it was indicative that you get a passport. You over, get your passport. You know what I mean? That was one of the things that I did mandate. Get your passport. Because you have to move. You over, because movements I deal with. And you have to have a passport. So that's what I did do. So yeah.
So why do you think Rastafari was so strong? Was it because of the music? Was it what was driving those numbers?
Yeah, man. I think of the music, the vibration in the country at that time. You over. Like His Majesty said, like the 60s was like the decade of Africa. You over, and I think like the 70s was the decade of the diaspora. You over, where I wake up now. You over to Africa and the reality that Africa is just a plane ride away. You over, it's not no up in the sky thing. You over, what? Hold on there. Africa is over there. If I raise up enough money, man can get on a plane and go there. You over, kind of logical. You know what I mean? So it's not the die, you have to die and go to heaven. You over, Zion is over there, it's just a plane right away. You know what I mean? So that's what that's what I did really deal with Shashamane land grant, you over, which was granted to the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. So that's why I would work with the 12 tribe of Israel, because 12 tribe of Israel are like Shashamane for them land. Or it's Rastafari land. You over, and that still persists amongst Rasta. You over that. Yeah, man, it's Rastafari, Shashamane, and Rastafari land. You know, his Imperial Majesty gave the land grant to the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated and its members. Yeah, and to become a member of the Ethiopian World Federation. It says the membership shall comprise of the black peoples of the world. Yeah? So ones get it mixed up now and say, boom, Shashamane is for the black peoples of the world. No, it's not. It's for the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. And that's what happens. Certain ones come in and start selling land, and that's why you have that confusion now. Down in Shashamane.
Okay. And we'll get there. We'll get to EWF, but I want to first. I have some connection with music as well.
Yeah, man. And connection with music. Yes, I'm on the dog poetry, so as I'm on stage, as you so buy record, set up sound system. And then in the sound system, I would have select and also hold the mic as well.
Okay.
So
what's the name of the sound system we play upon?
Wow. The first sound system from out of Smalley was called Earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an Earthquake now from out of Antwerp, but it's a different sound that. And then after that was just Shanty. So, and then after that time on the ground, go away and study. Then within the Ethiopian World Federation, you had Goodwill Sound. but I never really DJ or do anything from that. I was in the band, so we had a band called Kibiola Amlak, and then that got changed to Happiness Band. But then I do dub poetry. You over, so yeah, that's what I do. Dub poetry. Boom, boom, boom. That one, it's an album, Lyric Man.
Okay.
You over.
How can the people get that work?
Yeah, great question. You can get it. It's on CD, baby. I haven't put it on the streaming platform yet. I have a website under construction. So when that is up, you can get it from there, but you can get it from CD, baby. You over.
Send I a link and I can put it in the description of this video. So
Okay.
the Night of Pride, you know our protocol here. You have to spend some money with the guests them. You know what I mean? We want to circulate the Rastafari and the Pan-African dollar. So please go down to the link, support the ancient work. How old is the eye now?
I'm on 68.
Okay, so support this work. This is living history that we are getting from the UK, one of the centers, you know, long-standing Rastafari communities, and I really want to get into this, you know, huge Rastafari population, and then something takes place, and now the energy is waning, you know, because I think many places have the same story in the diaspora or the live diaspora. So I want to kind of get to the bottom, and you know, the eye is a great one for analysis. You know, what was the change? You know, how did we go from gatherings full of youth and full of zeal and full of energy, and now, you know, so we hardly see any young people, and is, you know, we're encountering aging demographics. How we reach this up?
Great question, man. There are a number of things. I think number one is that biblically it said that every tree is known by its fruit. Over, and every tree have a certain amount of time to bear fruit. Over. So what I man see is that as communities, as African communities, yeah, say like where we are, Marcus Garvey said we do not, the African or the Negro fears to colonize where he lives. Over, and that's what I man see, right? So I are fear to colonize where I live. So for example, in the 80s, you had Rastafari shops, cultural shops. You over Rastafari community centers. And I control community centers. You over. And I did have my own headquarters as Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, where I had a juvenile unit for the youth them, Saturday school. You know what I mean? The youth them had their own choir. So they had their own Nyabingi choir. You over. The elders did have a Nyabingi choir, the youth them have a Nyabingi choir. The youth them did have a dance group, the youth them did have a dance group. You over. Right? So they had an educational program. Speaking from the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated point of view, what happened is that that educational program did not continue beyond the age of 11 up forward, right? And not only that, they got put into the Babylon schooling system. You over. And once they got into the Babylon schooling system, right, and the elders them went and got jobs within the system, yeah, the vibration changed. Because now the youths them are confronted with the European educational system, you over, and what they teach. So they've got their own, because they were getting that, you over, right? But you have, I think, called peer pressure, and not only that, the music, you over, the music change. Because what Babylon do is come and study any phenomenon that arises. They go and study it. And when they study it, they look and see, is it a threat to our system? Right? And so once they realize that, okay, Rastafari is not going to blow up Parliament. Rastafari is not going to blow up places. Yeah? But how did Rastafari spread from the ghettos of Kingston to the ghettos of Answorth, Birmingham, Brixton, London, Chapeltown, Leeds? How? And they realized that it changed. It spread to the music. You over. So what happened now is that them change the music, the message. So that's why you did get dancehall music. And within the dancehall music now, what you did get now is that contrast between Rastafari, live good, live upful, etc., right? Promoting life, to dancehall music, which now promote death and killing of one another. You over. So that is a part of it. And also, I feel to continue to build I community. You over. So how I man look on it is that I as Black African people, I are playing snakes and ladders. And other communities are playing Monopoly.
Yes.
So we're playing two different games. Right? So Monopoly, right, you buy your house. And then once have bought their houses, they go and set up business. And they set up business on the front line where they are the main road where they live, you over, to service their own community.
Yes.
You over. So from the start, when I people came in the 1950s, they came in with a worker mentality, not a business mentality, a mindset. So what happened is, from how I man see it, is that, for example, the Asian community come, yeah, and they buck up the same thing that I buck up. A European culture, the English, British culture, right? With their food, their way of life, their way of entertaining, worship, etc., which was already here. Then I come in now, right? Thinking that, one, we would be welcomed, and two, the I culture is the same as their culture. And then I once realized, hold on there a little bit. Them no yam ackee, saltfish, them no yam green banana, yam, dasheen, cocoa, pumpkin. They don't eat these things. You over. So we are different culturally from them. Even when I give thanks and worship, it's lively. You over, right? The music that we play and entertain ourselves is different from their music. You understand? Their tradition, they go down to the pub and have a drink and then go home or get drunk. I go to you over and I go and play music and listen and jollification. Right? So it's a different thing. So what happened is that when ones came here, they went to the white man and asked the white man, yeah, do you sell yam, green banana, pumpkin, dasheen, these things? And he said, no, mate, no, we don't. You know what I mean? Boom. They went to the Asian man Now the Asian man is catering to his community. You over, can you buck up the same thing? These people do not eat the same as we, don't worship the same as we. So we have to build our own things. Yeah? So they didn't go to the Englishman and ask him. Because they already know. So they then source out where they can get their things to supply their own community. And that's what they did. So they set up their shops for their community. I people went to the Asian man in his shop and said, can you get yam, green, banana, pumpkin? Yeah? And after a while, so many ones went to them that they said they went to Babaji, right? I say, yo, these people keep asking for green, banana, yam, pumpkin. And they say that if we put it in our shops, they will come and buy it. And so after when he pick up himself off of the ground, because he can't believe a set of people function like that. That was why I said, he can't believe it's all right, put it in the shop and let us see. And lo and behold, that's what happened. We go and buy from them. So that means to say, they've already got their own gold mine, you know. Because our culture is our gold mine, you know.
Yes.
So they've got their gold mine, they're catering for themselves, their community. So that money goes around within their community. The European is already catering for himself, because for his country. So he's catering for his community. I people come now and gave away I gold mine to our next community. Then what happened now is that when ones realize this and say, why? Why me I go set up a shop? Right? So when they set up the shop, what happened is, who are they getting the things from? The same Asian man. So the Asian man now will run the stock to his people then. Just run it to them and say, pay me this amount. Right? But to I, you need to pay this amount. So the amount that I have paid is more than what is, you understand? So when ones are selling the things in the shop, right, it's more expensive than the Asian man. So what I do now is we go to his shop and I say, why Mr. Brown? No man, we can't get it from Mr. Patel. You sell it for 50 pence, I can get it from Mr. Patel for 30. Right? You told damn thief. Right? And that's what I'm going to meet Mr. Brown shop and sell me this. And that's how the word get around. Don't go to Mr. Brown and told damn thief. So they go to Mr. Patel. And so Mr. Patel build up rebuild up that community. Because we're playing snakes and ladders. So for example, if you walked in Answorth in the 1970s and 1980s, yeah, you would see black people having shops, etc. Right? And you would feel, yeah man, yeah. Well, I'm going over to go take. You get me? And it's a Rasta Virginia shop. Those shops closed down. Yeah? So the generation coming now don't see that. You understand what I'm saying? They do not see it. What they see is the Asian man is controlling here. Yeah? And we are at our shops. Yeah,
So-
we're at the community centers, etc.
So all of those youths that came up in those times, they have trimmed and just gone blended into the wider UK society. Where are all of these Rastafari youths and young people that were in the 80s?
Yeah, man, I have come to that part there. You over. Because of this now, and don't forget now, when I was coming up as black youth, going through their system, right? You had certain options, right, to make it. Yeah. One was education, which I parents taught and I education, go on to school, learn, and you will get a good job. You can go to university, etc., and you can get a good job, right? Once tried that ways and means and found that when they do get the pieces of paper, they can't get the work.
Mm.
It's over. Music, right? And sports, right? Those were the channels. Yeah. So what happened now in the 1980s with the coming of the gangster business? You over. What you have is another alternative called road or street. Gangsterism. You get me? Hustle, herb, coke, whatever it is, you over. Hustle. And you can make money. Why go to school and go to university when in a day you can make £5,000, etc. You get in a day you over. So these were the things that so the youth gravitated to road. You over. And road comes with consequences.
Wow.
You either get killed, you over, go to jail, or the very, very few survive it long enough you over to be able to sustain themselves. So many of the youth they are the youth, they are jailhouse, which I man call the Black Man University. So yeah, so that's where they are. You over. They may have Black Man University.
And I know the I has done prison ministry,
Yes, sir.
which we can get into. But this is a powerful, because even when the I speak, I'm thinking about the rising Black food sovereignty movement that's taking place. We interview Ras Zola, who is championing this movement in Canada. Because as the I said, we didn't control our food production, our basic needs as a community. We put in the hands of another community, and Ras Zola say, whoever feeds you is your parents. It's like your baby. 'Cause baby alone parents alone feed other people.
Yes, sir.
Or only children are depending on somebody else to feed them. So this Black food sovereignty, I hope that as we listen to this history, we look at the errors that we made, not just in London or the UK, because this is a global phenomenon, and this is why ones are giving accolades to ones like Ibrahim Traore and the Sahel state for embarking on a path to take forward the nationalize the assets of the nation, to invest and to really be sovereign, and this whole question of what it means to be sovereign versus to be just politically independent is a very crucial thing, because especially where we are now in this Armageddon, we can't necessarily just be dependent on some of these foreign governments that only look after their own interests, and maybe I as Black people, as Rastafari people, as Pan-African people would be very vulnerable if we continue to leave our survival in the hands of other communities that have been historically hostile to us. You know what I mean? So very powerful what I saying as you're recounting this, and this badness, it's like a curse that derail. If you look at the African American experience, you look at Jamaica in the 1980s with the politics. I can talk about a similar experience in Toronto as a youth growing up. I lost people to badness. You know what I mean? But especially within that Caribbean diaspora, you see a lot of youths, as you say, gravitate into the badness thing and the hustling, and get deported, and all of these things happen. So It's unfortunate. I want the eye to take us into the eye work with the prison ministry, and then I want to go to the eye treading into the continent. This is part one. Um, I have limited time. This is early morning reasoning. So I have to go and seal up some other things, but I want to uh, touch on the prison ministry and then the Africa Trading, and then also put in some of the eye uprising in terms of the poetry and the creative side, and whatever other works that I want to share with the global family
Yes, sir.
and seat up with the eye again.
All right. So, prison ministry, how that come about is that I was working on a project called Rastafari in the West Midlands. I brethren up to world was working on this project, which was research into the Rastafari in the West Midlands. West Midlands is an area within a region within England, right? So you have different regions, just like how America have different states, and then within the states you have different region. Same in England. So it's Rastafari in the West Midlands because in the 1970s when I went to London, a brother called Cecil Gutsmore, I think he's Professor Cecil Gutsmore now. Anyway, he stated to I, who had gone there, that Birmingham is the Rastafari capital of Europe,
Hmm.
right? And we say, hmm? He say, yeah, man. He say, not London. He say, no, man, not London, man. You'll have different pocket in different pockets, but he say, when him come at Birmingham, he say the whole city, the youth them are Rasta. You over. So what I did then was look at that, research that. So I researched Burning Strong. It's very interesting because no one has never want to participate in the reasoning. You over to get the history. Wolverhampton, the same. We go to Wolverhampton and we get a better response there. Anyway, out of that, within doing that, we were approached by the Ministry of Justice because in 2012, the Ministry of Justice recognized different faiths so that prisoners could then now carry out them worship, what them call corporate worship, according to their faith, and not just the Christian and Islam. So they recognize Rastafari, so they needed once to know, come up with a package for the prison. So that's what I did. We write the guidelines, PSI, prison service instructions, I think it is, on Rastafari. Um, then I source different drums. We set up a kit. You over. So every prison have to have these kits. 3 drums, and if they have a bigger contingent of prisoners, then 5 drums. We do a CD of chants. We did a booklet of chants. Ethiopian cross. What else? We commissioned Ras Maqopi to do a CD of up-to-date lyrics and music. We do that. I did edit a book called The Pearls of Wise Mind of Haile Selassie First. And I did write a book called Ancient Future, which was centered around Rastafari in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tuado Church. And that was the kit. So that went into the prisons. So I did do that work, and then them say, all right, because I got the clearance to go into prisons and talk to the different prison officers and prisoners. They said, well, we need chaplains, right, to run the program. And I had gone out and tried to recruit chaplains, over, because they were using a thing where just put an advert in the paper and say, no, that not gonna work. We say, no, that not gonna work. We have to go and engage with ones, over. You know what I mean? Keep a seminar, beat drum, food, reason, and so forth. Right, so I did do that. Not a lot of ones were forthcoming. So anyway, I then became chaplains and ran the program. So I would go to like 13 prisons. There's 150 prisons over. So I would do 13, and afterward, I Virginia would do 13 as well. So we do 26 over. So some we go into on a weekly basis, a strongly basis. Some we go to by twice a month, and some we go into once a month over. So that's what happened here. So what did happen is that you have a high population of black youths. And once you go into the prison system, what I found was that many of them were converting, right? Or as Islam said, them revert, but them convert to Islam over, because what we find was that one of the biggest gangs in inverted commas in the prison is the Muslim prisoners. Over. So that's what I was up against. You know what I mean? So many of the youth them have become Muslim, but those that weren't, they now come and I ministered unto them.
Serious. Were you encountering any youths that had Rastafari families in the prison system?
Yes, man. Many, 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 many.
Wow.
Many. You over. So that's why I stated, you know what I mean? And that's what I would reason with them. So, oh, you get here. I bet you think that you're here on your own auspices. But no, you're here by design. You over. Because there's such a thing as a school to prison pipeline.
Yes,
You over. So the system designed this bad man image. Every community have criminals. Yeah? Every community have criminals. But the difference between I criminals and other criminals is that they keep their thing on the down low. They're not putting it in a tune. They're not going to the studio
and glorifying it
and glorifying it.
Yes.
They're not doing that. They're not saying that, yeah, we get the gun, we run on, so me shut up such and such and go. You over. And so the police just listen to that now. I say, well, I think, okay, boom, I'm going to lock them up. So what we had a spate of gun crime. You over. And so what the system do is say, all right, if you get caught with a gun, at 30 years minimum, right? And then you have a spate of knife crime. You over. If you get caught with a knife, it's 20 odd years minimum. So that's what you'll find. Most of the soldiers, they are warrior class. Amongst I are in jail house for a very long time.
Wow.
So that's what we find. So yeah.
What a war.
Yes,
what was the first time they made the trip to Africa?
First time I'm going to Africa was in 1990. I went to Ethiopia. As a delegate from I local. It was Iron Rastagas King. Supposed to make that Chad. But he couldn't make that Chad at that time. You over on that flight. So I'm flying by I myself, link up with Brother Moody Stayed in Addis Ababa for about one day. In those times, we were supposed to go and register somewhere in Addis Ababa that they come in the country. But I just went straight to Shashamane. You over, jump a bus and reach Shashamane. When I reach Shashamane and get off the coach, or the bus rather, get down the luggage, and I outside brother Moody Yard. I man said, Ja, Rastafari. And two sheet of lightning strike and one comes up, poof, another one come poof. Just like that. You over. I'm say, Rastafari. And brother Moody said to her, yes man, I saw it still on ya. You over. Yeah. So that was 1990. And the purpose of it, of Iman Chad, was at that time there was a one room the foundation of a one room building. And so what it was they got funding from the Dutch government to expand that building. You over. So it was to deal with that. And also I was to link with the Pioneer Settler Corps, and if necessary forward to Kenya to link with a brother named brother Christie, right? So that was my mission, so to speak. But when I reached Shashamane, it was very hard in them times even to make a telephone call. You over back to England, it was hard. It took me about
That,
10.
that time the land grant was still present in terms of the whole heap of open land.
Oh, yes, man. Yes, man. If you go on Shashamane, when I went Shashamane, 2016, because I haven't been there for about, that 20 years? Yeah, from 1996 was the time before that. You over. When I'm on go 2016, I never know where I did. And I need to cry. You over. Oh, the
Now it
thing.
turned into a city, urban center.
Yeah, listen, man. You over. The mountain, them have these big trucks. You over. Belching out beer, black smoke. You over at night time, them park up on the side of the road. You over petrol station. It's like, whoa. Because when I went there, it was just green. You over, you could stay at Mama Bar Yard and look and see Rodney Yard. Way over in the yonder. You over. It's green, just green fields. No, that gone. You over. That gone now. You know. True, due to the fact that Rastafari have popularized Shashamane so much. You over. That the locals realize that hold on there, money is here, you know. Because these ones keep coming in, they bring you over. Money there. So make we grab a spot. You over. So that's what happened with Shashamane.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been Shashamane about how many times? 1990, 1992, the centenary trad, 1996, 2016, and 2018. So I'm going there about five different times. Then I did go New York in 1994, up Albany, over and meet with ones like Rasmora. Wow, a sister named Ras Aswad. In wife, can't remember wife name. All that used to slip out on the head. Actually, dancing and such and singing. All different ones, man. Believe me, Ras Pennycook. Over only for different ones. So we go up there 1994, 1996, 1999, and yeah, 90 and 2000. We go on New York and different place, Connecticut and them place there. Yeah. Then Mango, I go South Africa 2019, and then I Mango Tanzania 2021.
Okay, and I'm gonna bring the eye forward just to talk about the Tanzania trad. This is just an intro. Ras Maqopi are one of the frontline soldiers. How often does the eye trad to Jamaica?
Me so Jamaica, I go Jamaica. 1997 are the first time I'm on go Jamaica. Then I'm on the go 2000, 2010, and then 2013. So different things. 1997 was a project that I man did do called A Journey into the Roots of Dub Poetry. That was 1997. Did I say 2005?
What was it like to go to Jamaica for the first time, growing up in the culture? You know, because sometime in the diaspora you know more about Jamaica than the Jamaican who live there. But what was it like that stepping on the soil, you know what I mean, and making that connection after so many years?
Wow. You see, like, it's like warm. It's like warm. Because unlike going to Ethiopia, you over. We are instantly a Ferengi. You know what I mean? And just by the look, and you know what I mean? You know, them will hear you, Rastafari, Rastafari, you know what I mean? It's great. You over, don't get that wrong, it's great. But you see, when you touch Jamaica, you over. Because once in a Jamaica, them don't believe, say, I don't come from Jamaica.
Yes.
You over. Yes, because when I go Jamaica, when we do a language course, Jamaican language course, 2006 and 2007, then take the top two students to go to Jamaica. You over. And when I go Jamaica and I teach her, she born in Jamaica and go to Jamaica. And is with her family. And her father say, what we Maqopi? Which part you born? You say, yeah, man, I'm born in England. I say, no, man. You're not born in England. You say, yeah, man, I'm born in England. I'm born, man. You say, no, man, you cannot talk like that. And come from England. I say, yes, man. What do you mean? You get me? So it's like, you know, ones don't know, them don't know, them would just say, why? The way you talk, it sounds like you come from country. You tell you the truth. You over. So the first time is the poet them we link with, so we link with certain poets. You over. I mean, they go there to do is a poetry project. Journey into roots of the poetry. So I'm on the beat with Muta, but I didn't get to interview Muta because the same day I'm on the link Muta, I'm sharp. He was leaving to Australia. You over. So it just hi, old man, you over. And we go, I have to get the taxi and go out. So boom, that was Muta. I meet with Ras Tafari, meet with Professor Shevans, Professor Mervyn Morris, Caroline Cooper, who else me meet with? The poet them, all the different poets, LSX, Dub Master Lynch who passed, Ganja who passed, Sage who is still there, you over, all the poet man, yeah. So that was then 2010 I'm on the go at the report, 50 years of the report or something like that. 50 years of the Rastafari movement report. That was at UE. So that's when I meet a whole heap of different races who were like PhD. Never see so much Rastafari, PhD and masters and all them something there. You over, it's like, oh, yet. You over. That is when I'm on the go over there to do poetry. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jelani get I over to do some poetry. when I'm going the hall and I be a PhD this and PhD that and the reason with ones and yes I'm doing my PhD and I say, but wait, Rastafari don't lack anything, Rasta. And I don't lack anything.
Oh,
You can we go a convention in America up Bushwick Avenue, right? And Virgin from Bermuda forward. And the Virgin is a pilot. You over. At that time, that Virgin was a pilot. You over. So me see say we have holy power. Yo, we not
we
lack
just
anything.
we just lack connectivity, and
Yes.
this is why the Lion Voice Network is rising right now. Because I think sometimes we have to love ourselves and
Yes,
we have to
man.
see ourselves to love ourselves, because I think sometimes we take for granted how far we have come. There are ones achieving. There's a narrative that Rastafari don't do nothing, that we just smoke and listen music, and that's one of the things that we want to throw down here at the Lion Voice by showing ones like the I in the prison system, doing the work, traveling abroad, doing the work. We have ones, from engineers. We're going to be doing a whole feature on Rastafari in STEM, the engineers, the mathematicians. We have so much diversity of talent within Rastafari, and we're just getting started. I continue to tell people that the glory days of this chad are ahead of us.
Yes, man.
70s or the 80s, that was a period of learning. So we learn, and we have learned from the errors that were made. And now, the word sovereignty, you can call it self determination, but we understand now that from sea to table, and I must be the owners of our destiny. And we have also learned agriculture is a prerequisite for industrialization, according to the teaching of His Majesty. So we will be going into, defining and owning our ITAR standard. We're working on that. We're working on other projects that will allow Rastafari to really step into this new millennia stronger, from an economical, spiritual, and cultural perspective. So I want the idol to give us some final sound. We've done 2 hours through the powers.
See.
Also, but again, on this platform, we don't do just one reasoning. This is the introduction to our elder Ras Maqopi. So much, and the eye is still so youthful, so is the eyes
Give
in
thanks.
terms of maintaining the goodie, um, so that you can stay productive far into, your years. You don't have to look pop
Yeah,
down
man. Well,
like you're Asian.
yeah, man. Well, I try replicate I mother and father.
Okay.
You over, I father lived to 99 years and 11 months. I'm
Wow.
just a month short of the 100. And then I mother lived to 101.
Wow.
Yeah. And 1 month short of the 102. So if
Okay.
I man can replicate that, I man will give thanks. You know?
Mighty.
Um yeah man, as I state is this is just like a little snapshot. Because there's only a reasoning that a one can reason that one has learned on life journey. You over. And we not touch upon Tanzania and the pandemic, scamdemic.
Yes,
You
yes.
over, right?
That's a
Because
chapter. I didn't want to just touch it lightly. I want to
every,
go deep into that
everything
one.
everything is everything, man. Because that 2020 to Iman, right? It sure Iman this. In the 80s, 70s, and 80s, Rastafari stated, yeah, I used to go out reasoning and I would reason that Rasta, must come out of Babylon
Mm.
before Babylon locked down.
Mm.
These were in the 70s and the 80s. I were reasoning this, right? So that means to say I had 40 years to prepare I self, you over, to get out land, you over, to get land and to get I self out onto the land. And I as Rastafari, no matter which mansion you're talking, I've feared to do that really collectively. You over. Individuals have done it, but collectively, no. So that show I man say, I have to wake up and really work collectively to do this thing because down here in the England, since I'm on return from Tanzania, you over. What I'm on return to is a death epidemic. You over. One's passing, you over at an exponential rate.
Mm.
Yes, you over. So what I'm finding is drum and chanting is beating more down in a burial ground than in a Naya Bingi. You over. So that is what I face right about now. When they say come out of where my people, you over. That's what I need to do. And what I realize is that many ones do not want to leave. Rastafari has become comfortable, complicit, and complacent.
Hot.
That's what I'm on fine right now. You over, we nice. You get me? We nice and we irate. So many ones have said, well, yeah, England bad, but England weak, you know, Babylon wicked, but why it nice still because you know we can
The
touch
flat
on the
screen.
language and we can
Yeah.
touch on the stuff and
Yes. Wi-Fi, flat screen TV,
yes man.
everything. But yeah, man, it comfortable and
Yeah.
you have your products them. You can get your Caribbean products them down at the shop and this and that. So you just survive and
Yes
excel.
man.
This as the norm.
Is that man.
All over and as you say, there's a waning that took place. But I'm starting to see us starting to come out little by little, you know, because progress is being made. But we're definitely coming out of a valley, you know. We
We
were in a deep valley.
down in the valley for a very long time, but we never get weary yet.
Get weary and
You see, so we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Over. So that is it really. You know what I mean? I know say I must win. Over. And as Yesela say, I say failure is unthinkable. You get me? So at that time I work with you over.
it's not an
Failure is
option.
unthinkable.
Yeah, it's not an option for I and I.
Mm-hmm.
Although we teach that failure is just a milestone on the path to your destination, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So we don't fear failure on this platform, and we tell the young people it's part of your journey, but you don't rest in failure. You know, you don't get comfortable in a
Mm-hmm.
failure. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Keep on moving forward until we reach our destination. So I want to just thank the eye for
Yes,
taking
I.
time to join us on this platform, Lion Pride. We are going to support this Ella work. So please go into the description, CD Baby, order the product. Let's spend some money with the Ella. Okay.
So this is our next thing I'm on produce. It's called the Pearls of Wise Mind of I Selassie first. Yeah, this is just a proof of it. So Jah willing, by the end of this month I can get it up on the platform, either Amazon or Books by. So I would have just finished with a utterance out of it.
Yes, sir.
Spiritual power. Spiritual power is the eternal guide in this life and the life after. For man ranks supreme among all creatures. Led forward by spiritual power, man can reach the summit, destined for him by the great Creator. A nomination of Archbishop Basilius, January 19, 1951.
Serious thing, spiritual power. You have heard it here, words of wisdom. His Majesty rising up sons and daughters around the four corners of creation, and we are capturing it here on the Lion Voice Network. Make sure you support, subscribe, like, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a brethren to tell a brethren, tell a sister to tell a sister. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice. Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Lion Voice. Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true and living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as them enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting, I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting, then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing our youths them. No court, they just execute them till the people start learn the truth, and the black youth go strap on them Gideon boot and them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The Most High denounce their philosophy, talk to United Nations properly. He said we will fight if necessary, and be confident in the victory.